What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to 6-2 Beer Reviews. Today we're checking out another beer from Southern Grist out of Nashville, Tennessee. This is their Riwaka Power. I really hope there's some people out there that get this reference. Bringing me back, very nostalgic. So we'll kind of go into it a little bit here in a minute. It says, New England style Oated double India Pale Ale brewed with Riwaka and Nelson Sauvin hops, then heavily dry hopped with Riwaka. 8.4% double IPA. Keep cold, drink fresh. Woogity woogity. Hopefully some people get that reference. If you don't, Rocket Power. Super nostalgic Nickelodeon animated show back in the 90s. I was born in 99, but I still love the show. So freaking awesome. Awesome label art. So, one of two reasons I'm very excited to check this one out today. I'm also a huge New Zealand hop fan. Riwaka and Nelson, sign me up. So, canned on July 30th. Time of recording, we are 5 weeks. 5 weeks? Just under 5 weeks old. Still plenty fresh. Get into the glass. So awesome. I love that they included the little woogity there. Very cool. They did a whole 90s series of beer for a while there. Did some like Rocco's Modern Life inspired beers too. I don't know why they stopped doing that, but very happy to see this one back. This beer looks a touch darker than I was expecting. Just from most Southern Grist double IPAs that I've had. Obviously, you're looking at a little different malt bill here probably than some of the other ones, but beautiful finger and a half of creamy bone white colored head. Nice head retention too. Always love seeing that. Maybe part of that heavily oated in here. Very excited that that's also a part of this beer. Heavily oated plus some New Zealand hops. Let's fucking go. Check out the aroma. Ooh, okay. Yeah, New Zealand for sure. Got a little bit of like a woody aroma. Slightly peppery, but there's also this like white grape, touch of like white pear. Slight New Zealand funkiness that I love. Yeah, super tropical too. Even a little bit of passion fruit. Yeah, really nice aroma. Not huge aroma, but I'm really digging what I'm getting on the aroma so far. I love that white grape thing. Haven't really gotten that in too many Nelson forward beers this year, so hopefully it carries through on the taste. Cheers, y'all. Mm. Ooh, that's fun. That's different. Super creamy. Loved those oats in there. Just mouthfeel. Outstanding on this beer. That spiciness, that pepperiness that I mentioned on the aroma definitely comes through. Super heavy. I'm assuming the Riwaka because I typically don't get that note with Nelson forward beers. That's really cool. Really different. Yeah, woody. Not quite like a dankness. It's just like a woody, earthy, just kind of a different earthy note. Maybe a slight diesel note. Yeah, that pepperiness is kind of crazy. Really haven't gotten that too much, although I haven't had Riwaka too much as well. So that white grape, I wish it carried through a little bit more on the taste. Kind of in the background here, but this beer is called Riwaka Power, so definitely probably more Riwaka forward than the Nelson. But like I said, I'm kind of sad. Nelson, we've had a lot of Nelson forward beers this year. One of my favorite hops. I just haven't gotten that white grape typical note that you get. Obviously, there's all kinds of different variants of Nelson hops, different New Zealand farms that have that hop, and everyone's going to be different. I guess I'm just having the ones that are a little different than your typical generic white grape Nelson note, which I really love that. Really miss it. So hopefully I see it a little more in some beers coming up towards the end of the year here. Body's like straight on medium. And then there, I mean, just that creamy oat heavy. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Very slight touch of bitterness, but it's not like your typical like citrus peel bitterness on the finish. It's that woody, peppery note. That's really cool and just different. Is it something that I like prefer? Um, no, I love that citrus peel pithiness. Not necessarily on hazies, but when it comes to hazies, I love them juicy forward. Just I want it to drink like your typical hazy. I love bitter beers, but I prefer that in West Coast style. So, but everybody's different. Yeah, I think this beer, that peppery thing, definitely is the thing that stands out to me, and just super creamy mouthfeel. So, very good, really solid beer. That passion fruit thing that I mentioned on the aroma too, very slight, little bit of it in the taste. I'd say even a little pineapple in there, kind of like a mix of pineapple and passion fruit, but definitely in the background there. That Riwaka is definitely at the forefront. This is woody. This is, not your typical grab a hazy off the shelf kind of taste to it. This isn't straight on juice. There's some other elements to this beer, which I appreciate. So very cool. Very cool beer. And again, that canner, I just love it. Any Rocket Power fans out there, let me know. It has been a minute since I've watched that show. But very awesome. Very cool beer. Hope they keep doing this. Well, I should say. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but might be the last Riwaka Power we see from Southern Grist. So in that case, I would say pick it up if you see it. I don't know. Some Southern Grist stuff gets out in distro, but if you're in Nashville, if you're in Tennessee, you should be able to find this beer. I picked up a single of it for $5.50 a can, I want to say. I'd pay that all day, but I highly recommend picking up a 4-pack of this. I would love having a few more. So definitely recommend this one from Southern Grist. If anybody's had it, please let me know down in the comments. I will see you next time. Cheers. Thanks for watching.